Hello and welcome to this lecture. This will be the first lecture on the data structures. So in this lecture we are going to cover about the list, the most used data structure in the Python. So first of all, what is list? So first of all, let's come with the variable. So when I just say variable, you have to store only one element to the variable. So you cannot store something like var saying 3 store me 4 5 6 6. This should not be valid in the variable. You can store only one data item to the variable, but if you want to store multiple items to the same variable, it is to be done with the data structures. It can be the dictionary, it can be the list, it can be the tuple. So let's see about the list in this lecture. So let me just say my list, and I'll say this empty square brackets. So when I just save this, and if you want to print, it will just print you the my list, and it is your empty list. So let me just press F5 to show you over here. And if I say my list and just assign as empty square bracket over there, then you'll see that you'll just have the my list as empty. So you are just creating here the empty list. So let's assign some of the integers over here. So I'll just say my list, and let's see 1 2 3. So now you can see we have assigned multiple data item to the same variable name, which is basically the data structures, which is the list. So we have created the list of numbers from 1 to 3. You can also make a list with the mixed data types. So we have learned from the previous couple of lectures, we have the couple of types, the basic fundamental data types in a Python. That is, first is integer, obviously the one integer, and next one is decimal, and the next one is string, and next one is your boolean. So let's close this first, and after this let's add the boolean, and it is also valid. If you just print your list, you'll see this is going to create us a simple list containing all of the mixed data types over here, having an integer, float, string, and the boolean. So we have created the list over here, the first list, which is going to get all of the data items stored in it. So you can also have the nested list. So let me just take example, my list, and let me say it is going to have hey first, and after that the another list, after that the more another list, okay, after that the another list again. So you can see we have created a list which contains the nested list, which have more than one list. So it have one list over here, then another list over here. So this is the nested list. So let's see how we can access the element from the list. You can see we have created our list over here, which is the mixed list, and over here we have created our my list. So let me just copy this and paste it here, and now we have the my list containing a mixed data type. So let's access some of these items from this list. So in order to access the element, you have to go through the index. So what is index here? So index can be assigned with this square bracket again. So in the list, the first item is at index 0. So this is the position which we call 0. Next one will be 1, 2, and 3, incremented each time by 1. So if you just call this as 1, this should be 2, and this should be 3. And always remember, the list index start from 0, not the 1. This is not 1, it starts from O. So if I say my list O, then it is going to give us 1. And if I say my list, and this time 1, okay, 1, then it is going to give us the second element of the list, but the index having 1. So this is the way to just access the list. If you want to have this to be printed, you can do in the two ways. I'll say my list. First way is to count from 0, 1, 2, 3. It should be as 3. And another way is to have the negative indexing. So this is important. Negative indexing is from the -1. If you want to print this true, it should be at -1, and you have to just decrement again. It should be -1, it should be -2, it should be -3 and -4. If I want this 1, it should be -4, which is called the negative indexing over here. So we have got 1, which is at the position of -4, which is our negative indexing. So next thing is to slice the list. Now slice is to get part of the list. We want to get the multiple element of a list as a slice. So same as the pizza slice, we want to get some part of the list. So in order to get some part of list, let me create big list for now. So instead of this list, let me just clear and open the new console, and now let me just create now big list over here. So this will contain the basically, okay, I'll just say 1 2 3, so the random elements over here. So let's close this list. We have created the list. So now what if we want to do is we want to have the element from this, maybe from 3 to maybe 66. We want every element from this 3 to 66. So let's see how we can just get that. And this technique is called slicing technique. So first of all, we have to go through the index again. So 1 is at 0, 2 is at 1, and 3 is at position 2, but position 3, but index is 2. So we'll just go from 2 because we want to include 3, and we have to give the colon, and we want to reach at 66. So this is as 2, 3, 4, and 66 is 5. So if you just pass 5 here, this is the explicit position, so this is not included. If you want to include this 5th position, you have to pass 6, because this position is going to be ignored. So 6th position here, or the 6th index, is at 7, and this is not included. Only up to here is to be included. So if I hit enter, it will show us 3, 4, 5, 66. 7 is not included, though it has the index of 6, but this is the ignorable position, or this is not an included position. If you just pass my list and from 2 to 5 again, which is the position of 66 index, it will just give us 3, 4, 5, but not 66. This is the ignorable position. And now you can also do something from the beginning to maybe from here beginning to 5. If you want from beginning to 5, we can do something like leave the first position. If you leave first position, it will just defaultly start from the first index and just count from there. 0th, 1, 2, 3, 4. We want to 5. That means we have to include this 5th, and let's close this. So it is giving us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the next thing is the step position. So let's see the step position. So I'll just say my list, and the first one is default. Let's say second one is also default. If you pass third one, so this third one is basically this step. So step is the loop, or basically what is to be included. If I pass 2 over here, it is going to leave one step in each of the elements. So you can see, if you just pass 2 over here, this one was printed, but instead of printing 2, it has directly jumped to 3. It has left out 4, it has left out 66. So one step has been not included in the output list. If I say something like my list, again go from beginning. If you don't pass anything, it will go from beginning, and again if you don't pass anything over here, it will just go till the end. And if I say 3 over here, and if I print, now again it is going to remove the 2 element. So step has been 3 here. That means it is going to remove the 2 element from each of these part. So you can see 1472 has been printed. with this slicing technique. Now let's see some of the important methods of the list. So first of all, I'll make the odd element over here, 1 3 5 7. So now if we want to append or add another element, we can make use of this append method of the list, and I'll say the next would be 9. And now if I print odd, you would see now 1 3 5 7 9 has been appended to this odd list. So you can do similarly. Let me say if you want to add multiple elements, so in the case of append you can add only one element, but if you want to add multiple element, you can simply do extend 11 13 15. And now okay, what we have just done here was we have to extend with the list. So we have just made a small mistake over here, because this should be iterable. It has shown right over here and we haven't passed in the list. So I'll say 11 13 and again 15, close the list, close the method, and if you just print odd, now it has been extended. So 1 3 5 7 9 was the initial odd. Now 11 13 15 was added from this extend method of this Python list. So you can also do something like insert. Let's go back again, print this, and if I just say odd is 1 and 9, and now if you want to insert the element, you can simply do insert, and now if I say 1 and 3, okay, what we just did over here was we wanted to add this third element in the first position. So this insert method will take the position where you want to insert, or basically the index. So index is basically the 1, that means we want to insert in the middle of the 1 and 9, because 1 is at 0th, 9 is at 1 position, but now in this position we want to add 3. So when I just insert this, print odd, you'll see 3 has been inserted now in middle of 1 and 9. So this is the way to just insert the element using this insert method. Next is to see our remove method, delete method. So let's see about that. So first of all, let's see our list. So let's create the new list, and I'll say 1 2. This is our list. So next thing is to just delete the list. So I'll say I want to delete some part of the list, some element of the list. You can do that by using this mylist and the slicing technique that we have studied. I want to just delete from 2 to 3. So if I do that, and if you say mylist again, you'll see that it has now 1 3 4 5 5, 2 and 3 has been deleted. So next thing you can also do is simply call delete, and if you say delete mylist, whole list will be deleted, and you will see this mylist is not defined because we have just deleted our mylist completely from here. So next thing is you can also make use of the remove method in order to delete some element of the list. So let me create mylist again, and here I'll say A, B, C and D are the element of the list, and if you want to remove, you have to call mylist again and just add the remove method. So when I just remove, let me say I want to remove C from here, and if I just print again my list, you'll see C has been removed from your list. You can also do same tasks using the pop method. So you can see that my list and dot pop method is of the list, and you have to pass the index in this pop method. So when I just say 1 is the position for this B, so B has been popped out, that means element has been popped out from this list. So if you just do something like my list dot pop, it is going to give us as a default the last element of the mylist, which is in this case the pop. That means it is going to get the last index, which is -1 index, if default value is passed or nothing value is passed in the pop method. It is going to get us the last element of the list. So these are the couple of functions which are important functions of the Python list. So we have couple of lectures to learn about the data structures in the upcoming lecture. We have seen bunch of the method like insert, like pop method, and remove, insert, append, every method which is important in the list. You can also take a look on this len method, which is going to give us the length of the list. And this is the one, because we have just popped out every element, only my list has the one element, which is a, so it is going to give us the length of the list as a 1. So these are the couple of functions we have learned in this lecture. In the next couple of lectures we'll also see about the more advanced data structure. See you in the next one.